Hello, welcome. This is my very first ever video blog. Not my first attempt by any means, but hopefully it'll be the first one that works out. Last time I tried to do this, my battery ran out, so I don't know, just maybe Mercury was in retrograde or something, who knows. Anyway, God, this is awkward. It's like a first date or like a blind date or something with the entire internet. So, like, oh my God, hi internet, like, oh my God. Anyway, so it's Coronageddon, in case you haven't heard. We're all locked up inside our house, and it seems like the perfect time to create a video like this. If I slur, it's because I did a bit of wine in a cat-shaped bottle, which is dope. Because it is kind of like a weird, creepy first date, you know, making a vlog for the first time. Long-time watcher. I've been wanting to create a video blog forever. I came up with all these ideas in this notebook, and like my first video should be on this or that or what. And I waited and I waited and I waited, and it kind of reminds me of something my friend Eric always says is if you wait for something to be perfect, you're never going to do anything. And I was waiting for it to be perfect. And if anybody out there knows me very well, they'll know that's not my forte. So, here I am, afforded this glorious opportunity to be speaking to you all, you lovely people out there in the interwebs. Here we have a guest star. This is Star Trek. Star Trek. You'll see them frequently. Okay, gonna edit that out. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. Okay. If there's a jump cut there, oh, well, hang on. Continuity. Gee. What have I done? How do I get my frame back? Oh no! Okay. You know, I might just leave all of this because it's sort of funny to me anyway. There I am. That's me. And my lighting's going. Screw you, natural light. Okay. Can you see me? Shit. So, the internet's getting weird, in case you haven't noticed. Social media and the posts and everyone out there, I kind of dig it. I'm not gonna lie. It's inspired me because I knew whatever I put out there was gonna be kind of weird. And I have a hard time, what's a great word to say this? I don't know. I have a hard time polishing things up, I guess. I like things to be authentic. And don't get me wrong, I believe in the value of polishing things up. But at the same time, there's only so much polishing you can do. We're all doing our very best that we can do with what we have in the given moment. And if you wait for something to be perfect, you'll never get anything done. So, everybody's getting weird on the internet. But there's another thing that my buddy Eric said about opportunity and disaster. And he sent me these Chinese symbols, and I can't remember the rest. Oh. Yes, I'm drinking wine out of a Halloween-themed coffee mug. Talking about opportunity and disaster, which is so true because a challenge is kind of an opportunity to face your fears. Reminds me of what, you know, those like meatheads in the gym say about like how pain is weakness leaving the body, maybe, or something kind of like that. I don't know. And even if it's all like bullshit, the placebo will get us through, which is really what's important in the end, I guess, maybe. But the point I'm trying to make here is that within this realm of challenge and obstacle, we can find opportunity. We must find opportunity. Not to get weird, but if we don't, it's gonna get even more weird. So, and I'm talking like Masks, Purge, movie, Assassination Nation, baseball bats and hatchets and shit. JK, but no. So, I've taken this time to reflect on moments in my life when I felt like I was the most on, or, you know, feeling it, and like the times in my life where I felt like I had my energy right. That makes sense. And at those times in my life, I was exercising like 5 to 6 times a week. Not like heavy duty, like muscle building crazy nonsense, but physical activity, yoga, dance, swimming. I worked in a nursery where I was hauling around cinder blocks and 20-pound plants and whatnot, but I feel good when I'm getting some physical activity. So that was one thing I was like, okay, Chica, let's take this opportunity to get back into the habit. And you know, it's all about the habit too, right? Because before you start, it's like, first day, you're like, well, is this so bad? The second day, you're like, well, I gotta keep going, right? Because I started it yesterday. The third day, you're like, well, this is officially a thing now, right? So, whatever. And it just gets easier and easier. Momentum. What the science guys call it, I suppose. So anyway, I was like, we just have to get our momentum going, and there's no more excuses. I'm too tired because I had to work, or I recently moved, or I'm going through a traumatic emotional meltdown. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of time now for hell, anything, everything, and all the stuff in between. So, might as well do some yoga and dance. So I've been doing that and some meditation and stuff like that. And I'm trying to get back to the roots of my core desires and motivations and passions in life. Have you seen the new music video called, I believe it's called My Truck? I wish I could remember the name of the guy. I don't know. Maybe I'll edit it in here later. If you see a clip of me in a completely different context, outfit, hairdo, and location saying, this guy! That's what that is. So, starts with a B. He's like, don't touch my truck. You can call me this, you can call me that, you can take my this, you can take my that, but don't touch my truck. So you all have to have a truck, you see? We all need a truck in our life. That thing with which we cannot have messed with. Family, career, art. But when we notice that, and when we recognize it, I feel like we can put so much power behind it, you know, kind of get a laser-like focus, unify our will, as Carolyn Elliott would say, and we can realize what's really important to us in life and why, and the specifications of how we want this ideal importantism to manifest. I don't know, like, you know, the bits and the pieces and the delicacies or whatever. So here I am in this time of quarantine and overall weirdness to all degrees. I'm left asking myself the question, what is my truck? What is that which I will not allow to be compromised? The pieces of myself which I'm not willing to question or give up without a hell of a battle or a fight. And I don't necessarily mean a combative fight, but at least a debate, you know? You gotta have something persuading, some fucking good rhetoric. Because you always gotta be staying open. But there's some things at the end of the day, you know, it's like the, those 10 commandments from Christianity, you know, trying not to kill people, trying not to take stuff that's not yours. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, you know. But, hey, everything can be, you know, a little wavy. Like with the chaos magic stuff. Beliefs are tools, right? So if my family's starving and I'm stealing a loaf of bread from Walmart in an occasion where they have an overstock and it's probably going to go bad anyway and it's bread, I don't know, might be kind of like on the side of the devil there on that one. Or if somebody busts in my house in the middle of the night, comes after me, or my family, or my cats, same difference. I'm gonna get them. That was the skillet over their head, not a gun. But, I mean, anyway. So, my truck seems to be the ability to enjoy my life, which is centered around this sense of being able to be enchanted and appreciative, grateful, no matter what the circumstances. I was watching a video by Carolyn Elliott, and she was talking about Tiphereth, which is the middle of the tree of life, from what I understand, which was interesting to me because it made me think about the heart chakra, which is in the middle as well. And so when you can find compassion, and beauty, compassion for beauty in every moment, in every situation of life, it opens up this stream and this ability to be able to connect with the divine. And when I say the divine, I mean both aspects, the yin and the yang, the dark and the light, all of it, which is not easy. You know what I mean? That's easier said than done, to try to be able to connect with the darker sides of divinity and all these things. But it's all about unlocking that key in the heart. You know what I mean? And it's about being able to see more of the beauty than the pain and the tragedy. And here's an interesting point. I am a particular fan of horror. Cannot wait for the new Penny Dreadful to come out. Oh my god. Hey, BT dubs, if it looks like I have a kind of a black eye, it's because I do. It's because my cat fully ran over my face in the middle of the night for no reason, and I have no idea why. She's never done that in 12 years. So now I sleep with a pillow over my head. So that's fun. Back to what I was saying. Horror, tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. Oh. We can appreciate the beauty in fictional scenarios. But when it comes to real life, it's kind of hard to be able to wrap your head around the darkness and the pain that we experience. But I'll tell you what I do believe. I believe in a higher power. Not going to say what it is. Chaos magician. But I also believe in a dark side. Now, I feel that it all emanates from one source, kind of in a hermetic sort of sense. So in which case, if it does, you cannot relegate the dark side. You know what I mean? You can't, shun it away, because it's all God. It's all God's creation. If God created Lucifer, let's get all Christian, Abrahamic and shit. If God created Lucifer, he's a part of God's creation. Or if you get into, the idea of Satan in Judaism, it's the adversary. You know what I mean? I remember my yoga teacher telling me the creation myth in her tantric Hindu school of thought that she studied was that the goddess, the one, was all and one and floating around, happy and complacent, full of warm fuzzies and whatnot. And she decided she was kind of bored. You know what I mean? And she wanted that sort of drama. So she split herself, she fractured herself into bits and pieces, and all of us are just the universe experiencing ourselves through each other. So how are you going to hate on anyone or anything if it's part of that beautiful sort of all continuous whole of everything? And it reminds me a lot of when I was a kid. I used to watch, I didn't like those soft, fluffy, Disney stories where everything worked out okay. I was watching, Dateline or 60 Minutes or, I don't know, soap operas or, these, Law and Order SVU, stuff like that, where you're, just so wrapped up in the story. And I remember feeling as a child, feeling all these warm fuzzies in the Disney Channel are cute, but they get old really fast before I start switching to true crime. Even as a little kid. So that shows you that the divinity within us seeks some sort of drama. You know what I mean? There's only so much warm and fuzzy that you can take before you need a little shake. You need things shaken up a little bit, I suppose. And I was also thinking about something I can't remember anymore. So here we are in Coronageddon. That was me looking at notes a second ago, by the way, if it wasn't like totally fucking obvious. Oh, I'm gonna cuss. Sorry. I'm gonna drink, obviously. And there's probably gonna be quite a few tasteless jokes. Maybe not quite a few, but they're gonna come up. And so please don't be offended. Humor is a coping mechanism for me. And if you don't get that, it's obviously not one for you. Sorry about that. I could teach you, but I have to charge. Okay, so I've always been a fan of like a good snow day. You know what I mean? I like to sit around the house. I like an excuse not to go somewhere. In Texas, people don't want to drive in the rain or the, you know, sleet or snow. It's a lovely excuse to get out of all sorts of things. Well, the weather looks bad. Yeah, might as well stay home. Oh, sounds good to me. 20 minutes later, here I am driving to the gas station to get a pack of smokes, driving to the store to get a bottle of wine or something. So, yeah, I love a good excuse to stay home. Trust me. And I've got all these books that I bought that need reading. I've got all this yoga that needs doing. Doesn't need doing, doesn't require, but would be beneficial. Beneficial? It would be beneficial. So yeah, meditation, that's a thing. Altar work, all kinds of new stuff I could revamp, get set up, start, initiate, implement. And now's the time, hey. So, find your truck, man. What's your truck? You know? What's your tippereth? What is that thing? And let me explain why I associate those two. Because my truck, personally, my truck, would have to be magic, paranormal stuff, witchcraft, the occult, weirdness. That's my fucking truck, man. And it's like, I feel like when things come and encroach upon that which I associate with my magic, my craft, my energy, my ability to just sort of like be in the vibe and go with that flow and feel good about it and make stuff happen. And I'm not talking like yachts and lotteries, but just, you know, what I need when I need it so I can keep this good energy flowing. That's all I'm talking about. And I really do not appreciate anything coming in and trying to mess with that. Yet, at the same time, I've allowed so much to get in the way. I have to work, or family obligations, or putting myself in a position where I was giving so much that I wasn't acknowledging that I was not giving to myself, which is a nice little escape. 8 of Cups for you there, if you will. Cups. Yeah, no, I would throw myself into someone else's life and trying to fix their problems. Whether that's a romantic relationship, or my mom, or a friend, or whatever. A boss. You know what I mean? I'm running away. Don't look at me. Look at me. Don't look at me. Look at me. So now here I am. Nothing to look at about myself. And I've got to find what remains, and what remains is my truck. Because I've come up against adversity. I'm not going to get out my tiny violin. I'm sure there's multitudes of you out there who've been through way worse than me. But come up against adversity, and I feel like the thing at the end of the day that matters the most is that deathbed consciousness, as Kellyanne would say, you know? When I'm laying on my deathbed, what am I going to regret? What am I going to wish that I defended? You know, defend your cliff, says Ethan Chandler. What is my truck? And did I let anyone touch it? You know? Maybe they could smoke my liquor, they could call my lady, Did I just say smoke my liquor? Holy shit. Okay. They could drink my liquor, they call my lady. But what is that core truck that I never let anyone touch? Now is the time to cultivate that. Now is the time to find it. What is that part of you that no one can get in the way of? Is it your art? Is it your family? Is it your work? Is it your studies, your scholarly pursuits, your athletic acumen? Is it your fashion, your look? You know, and it's like Carolyn, as Carolyn Elliott would say, the universe is aesthetic. It's not moral, so there's no judgment. It could be your dollar bills, y'all. Do it. Find your truck. Because when you find your truck, you're no longer lying about it to yourself or anyone else. And that just makes your magic work better, which is really what it's all about, right? Unify that will. Yeah. Until next time.